All right, welcome to our second module in yoga. In this module, we're going to be thinking about the traditional processes of yoga. So what we're going to do is we're going to transition from our conversation about is yoga religious and looking at the religious nature of bhakti yoga in the Bhagavad Gita to where now we're going to shift into how people actually practice yoga traditionally. So we'll begin actually in a spot that makes us again think about what we know about yoga and how it was different in traditional India, because in fact you wouldn't go to a studio to practice, but according to some of the texts we'll learn, you should practice somewhere that's not in the city, somewhere that's not in the wilderness, somewhere that's kind of in between. So maybe somewhere like here in this setting, in this yoga hut in northern Kerala, which is in South India. So as people would start to practice, this was a very spiritual process. So the emphasis still is not yet on the positions. Instead, the emphasis is on an 8-limbed process. So how people would start from being within the world, slowly removing themselves away, working on bodily practices as one step, but then really it's about mental and cognitive processes, eventually leading to union with the divine. So this is a process that we'll learn a little bit more through this module, but what I want you to focus in on is the ways that the terminology is used within these texts and how the process is perceived and conceived and how that differs from what you think about yoga whenever you signed up for this class. And at the end of this, just like in the previous module, we'll have another yoga journal. And pay attention in this because, and all the lectures leading up to this also, because what I want you to look at is the way that Adrian from Yoga with Adrian, where she's at, the place that she's doing yoga, the words that she uses. Is she using the traditional yogic understanding of the body, or is she using the Western idea of the anatomical body, and how these things are related and how they're made into one seamless process during modern yoga. So hopefully through this process you'll learn how traditional yoga was conceived and how eventually this paves the way for modern yoga that we know of today.